Tropical Cyclone Penny made landfall between Reaper and Thud Point, now tracking east across the Cape York Peninsula. This is the latest on the system. Warning areas Cape Kiwi to Cape York. And this is the Reaper radar view. And at 1600 hours, Category 1 Penny sustained winds in the centre, 75 kilometres per hour, with wind gusts to 100 kilometres per hour. And day 1 of 2019. Hope you've enjoyed New Year's Day. Here's another update from Force 13's AU channel. 9 kilometres of 12.8 degrees south, 141.9 degrees east, 15 kilometres south of Reaper, 150 kilometres west of the Leichhardt River, moving east as I mentioned, and 15 kilometres per hour. And the Doppler wind. Tropical Cyclone Penny formed in the eastern Gulf of Carpentaria early this morning, and the centre of the cyclone is currently located just inland from Reaper and will weaken into a tropical low this evening as it crosses the Cape York Peninsula. It's interesting to note the wording in the Tropical Cyclone Warning Centre's Brisbane Office Advisory. And I've got the remnant low. It's expected to enter the Coral Sea during Wednesday, continuing moving eastward away from the Queensland coast. And here's this thought: why not keep it as a tropical low? The forecast track is indicating, and it's on the screen now, although it's not indicating, Penny is to come back as a Category 1, possibly reaching Category 2, probably to the east-southeast of the Willis Island. Gales with gusts up to 110 kilometres an hour currently taking place on the western Cape York Peninsula between Cape York and Cape Kiwi, adjacent inland areas. Gales are expected to extend further inland over western Cape York Peninsula this afternoon evening as the cyclone moves inland before easing below cyclone intensity around midnight. That's another point. Isolated damaging wind gusts may occur otherwise, with monsoonal thunderstorms over the Torres Strait Islands, northeast Cape York Peninsula, and a separate severe weather warning remains in place, and a heavy rainfall event may lead to flash flooding likely across northern Cape York Peninsula today and Wednesday. Flood watch remains current for coastal catchments north of Cartwell, including catchments across the Cape York Peninsula. A second severe weather warning remains current for rainfall on the northeast tropical coast. And the information remains the same for the tides. Now we have a look at the life of the tropical cyclone up to a few hours ago. Joint Typhoon Warning Centre has it around 371 nautical miles northwest of Cairns, tracking east at 6 knots over the last 6 hours. However, animated multispectral satellite imagery and radar from Reaper shows a expansive central dense overcast feature and a centre position still over water. The initial position is based with good confidence based on the MSI radar loops. Observations from Reaper 45 nautical miles to the east shows 23 knots and 994 millibars, which support 38 knots by pressure wind relationship. Upper level analysis indicates a marginally Favourable environment with strong 25 to 30 knot vertical wind shear, offset by excellent outflow aloft. Tropical cyclone 08P will intensify briefly to 45 knots, fueled by the excellent outflow and very warm 30-31 degrees Celsius sea surface temperatures in the Gulf of Carpentaria. And whilst this is 6 hours behind, before it makes landfall on the Cape York Peninsula, it will then weaken temporarily overland and begin to re-strengthen once over water in the Coral Sea. The cyclone will track southeast after it re-emerges in the Coral Sea and under the steering influence of the near equatorial ridge to the northeast. Then around the 72-hour mark, a subtropical ridge is expected to build into the southeast, causing the cyclone to turn back towards the west. Environmental conditions in the Coral Sea will be marginally favourable for slight re-intensification up to 60 knots by the 48-hour mark, and with sea surface temperatures between 28-30 degrees Celsius, moderate vertical wind shear. However, increasing vertical wind shear, diminishing outflow will begin a weakening trend. The numerical guidance has diverged in the later forecast period in the most recent model run. ECMWF, GFS, HWRF now slowed the storm around the 72-hour mark, then turns it to the north. After a period of quasi-stationary motion, while NAFCHEM, GALWEM, COAMS and NAFCHEM still turn the system to the southwest. Along track speed continues to vary, with ECMWF and GALWEM notable outliners predicting faster forward track motion than other models. The intensity track at the later forecast period depends on the track that the system takes, as the northward track will move 08 into a more favourable environment with lower vertical wind shear and warmer sea surface temperature. In light of the descendants in model solutions, there is low confidence in the Joint Typhoon Warning Centre's forecast track, and wave height is 17 feet. And considering that there's an enormous amount of information that can be put in video content, we still have other systems on the radar, and here's the EPS track guidance, and the colours represent individual models. But what does one say about this particular system? I'm leaning towards the yellow line, which is the Canadian model, but it looks like we'll be here this time next week following the cyclone. And a couple of the models, the UK Met, the HWRF, those two are reliable. They're indicating a Cat 1. The HWRF is favouring a Cat 2. And looking at this one, I'm looking at the UK Met, which is the pink, and there could be a threat to Townsville to Mackay.
You can follow Force 13's outlets the website, force13.com, our YouTube page, youtube.com/force13, on Facebook under the same name, Force13, and our Twitter handle, it's @Force13 if you wish to get in touch. You can also add Force13 on Skype and my personal account on Discord, Fool13, at extension 9094.